It is on the money. Sorry, start again. That one's not on the money. Hi guys, and welcome to the Lowdown, our online highlight show. Pleased to say Danny Kerr is joining me. We're going to talk England first. So Danny, you were at Twickenham. What are your thoughts on the performance, the win? Any individuals that stood out for you as well?
Yeah, firstly, amazing to be back in the Six Nations in a fully packed Twickenham. It felt special. I thought the performance, they did what they needed to do. I think Wales were pretty average for 50 minutes. They came alive in the last 30 and made a real game of it. But I thought for England, milestones for Carl Sinclair, 50th cap. Ben Young's becoming England's men's most cap player, 115 caps, unbelievable.
Yeah, huge.
But I think it was the Harlequins' victory, wasn't it?
Here
Marcus
we go.
Smith and Alex Donbrandt with all the points.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go Marcus first, because he picked up Man of the Match awards. All right, your teammate. What impressed you about him?
I think just how composed he is. I think when he takes the ball to the line, just how much time he seems to have, even with an oncoming defence, and he seems to always pick the right option. But he's also got the gas to go through himself. So I thought the way he navigated themselves around the field, using Henry Slade's left boot, you saw a 50-22 from Henry Slade. I thought England just did what they needed to do. As I said, Wales were poor to start with, made a game of it at the end, but a good victory at home for England.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was a theme of kind of slow ball, not really winning collisions. It was a bit cagey, but your other Quins teammate, Alex Donbrandt, he managed to poke his nose through a few times and came up with a big try as well.
Yeah, you can see those two work so well in tandem. You see the inside balls, him just popping up on the outside of Marcus, and it was from a Wales dodgy line out on the 5 metre, but you saw a great take from Donbrandt and to find his way to the corner. I was in that corner watching the game, so urging him in. But yeah, great to see them flourishing on the big stage. And the next few weeks for England's going to be a lot harder. I think Ireland and obviously away in France. Yeah, the competition's about to start.
Big games coming up. And yeah, you say it was the Quinn show. Hey, Mario told you with that turnover to seal the game. So tiny hot Saracens there as well. All right, let's check out the action in the Gallagher Premiership this weekend. We had a triple header of fixtures on Friday night. Firstly, Sale and London Irish, two of the form teams in the Premiership, met at the AJ Bell. Danny Kerr's Harlequins travelled to Sickways, where they hadn't won in 5 years, and the Bristol Bears took on an in-form Wasps team looking to improve their away form. Two fixtures on Saturday. First, it was first against fourth, as Leicester took on Gloucester at Matthew Woods Welford Road. And at the other end of the table, Newcastle and Bath were both looking for a confidence-boosting win. The weekend's action wraps up on Sunday as Northampton take on Exeter Chiefs. They're looking to bounce back from successive defeats. So first up, it's Friday night. It's Worcester against Harlequins, and as we have him here, Danny is going to take you through the game.
Yeah, this is a huge game for us. We haven't won here for 5 years, and we put a massive emphasis on getting a result here. And if we want to be where we want to be at the end of the season, we want to be in that top 4 in the hunt for the big prize, we had to go down here and get a win. So huge emphasis on the game. We came away with 5 points. It wasn't perfect, it never really is down there, but we got the job done.
Yeah, different. This was nice from Will Edwards. He's playing quite well at the minute, filling in for Marcus Smith.
Yeah, with Marcus being away, obviously you've got Tommy Allen and Will Edwards taking over that 10 jersey. Both really, really skillful players. See a little left-footed dink here. Here we just said, right, we need to be direct. So we got our big forwards carrying hard, try to play quickly when their players rolled out the way, and then when you give it to Andre the Giant, you're always going to get over the gain line. So
yeah,
then,
definitely.
For me, and little show and go, and then I don't know where these go-go gadget arms came from. But
try number 100, big milestone.
Yeah, no, I had a little eye on that. I know Brownie left the club on 99, so
Did he ring you after?
Yeah, no, he sent me one text saying congrats. So yeah, I think he was buzzing for me.
Yeah, one word, congrats.
Yeah, just those little arms just got there. So yeah, 100 for the club, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah, incredible achievement. But this game was tight though. You know, Worcester, to their credit, came back showing more resilience. And they really stretched you, especially in some of these carries.
They're a really tough team to beat at home. So yeah, we obviously the kids at home. That is not how you tackle. Do not try and tackle.
If you had your time again, what would you do differently?
I would go low. I would go low or go much wider and make someone else tackle.
But, yeah, I mean he's a hard man to stop.
Well, I did shout touch, but he didn't get down. But no, he's a big boy. You don't tackle like that. But that's what Worcester do. They run hard. They make it physical. They make it hard for you. And the second half-time, we just said, look, let's do the basics well. Let's get back to our direct running game. Opportunities will hopefully open up, and the forwards do a great job here of tying them in. And then there's normally space out wide. Will Edwards throws a great ball to Archie White. Little sidestep from Archie and a good try there.
Yeah, good. I mean, you've had a tough couple of weeks previous to the last two. Okay, you get the win against Wasps and you get this win as well. that resilience is going to be key going forwards as well, because the games are going to be so tough, so competitive.
Yeah, this season's a marathon, it really is. You've got to try and pick up wins when you can. I think we went 3 losses in a row in the Premiership, so we've got back-to-back victories now with bonus points in both, which is great. But you can't rest on your laurels this year. Unfortunately for Worcester, they didn't come away with anything from the game, but for us, 5 points in the bag, we were happy.
So this week's take is all about the kicking game, when it goes right versus when it goes wrong. So Worcester's strategy here, crossfield bomb, they've identified the space, Quins have spotted the threat as well. You need to get the kick, the execution and the chase. Worcester get everything right. Brilliant kick, great competition in the air, they win the ball, and that forward momentum is huge because it means that there should be space elsewhere, it's easier to attack. On this occasion, they go to the box kick, it's Simpson. Now this kick is either too long or the chase isn't on the money because you give the Premiership's top carrier and top meter maker half a yard to create some damage, and this actually leads on to Danny Care's 100th try. So if you don't get the kick and the chase right, it can lead to disaster. Another good example, here's our man Finn Smith looking. So Worcester have already kicked once and regathered possession. They spotted another opportunity in the wide channel. It's communicated. The kick executed perfectly into this space, in this right-hand channel. Worcester again on the front foot. A few phases later, Vailanu crashes over the line. So the strategy is important. Are you kicking long or are you kicking to compete? If you get it right, it's brilliant. If you get it wrong, could lead to disaster. So our second game from Friday night finished all square. These two teams couldn't be separated earlier in the season and they couldn't be separated either on Friday night. Danny, I want to talk to you about the scrum halves, okay? Rafi Quirk, Faf de Klerk and Nick Phipps. When you've got that much talent in your team, they have such a hugely positive influence on how your team plays.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to say the 9 is the most important player on the pitch. But I do feel for both teams, I think they are. I think in Faf de Klerk and Rafi Quirk, you get their names mixed up because they're so similar. They're so similar in players, and I don't think you get any difference in player when you start one or you bench one. I think you saw both taking quick taps, looking to inject tempo into the game, and then Rafi Quirk's cover tackle on one of the forwards is one of the best tackles you'll see out there. Sale possessed probably the best sort of arsenal of scrum halves. I think Leicester might have something to say about that with Wigglesworth, Van Portfleet and Ben Youngs, but Sale at scrum half are brilliant. But I love the way Nick Phipps is operating for London Irish. He is their energy, he's their tempo. The way he gets to the ruck and gets the ball out so quickly, 1 or 2 second ruck speed, really injects that tempo for the London Irish.
Yeah, you've got 2 teams on your coattails chasing you down for those playoff spots. But you mentioned Irish there briefly. What's your take on them, and are you impressed by how they're tracking at the minute?
I think they are. I think Irish are a team that people should be aware of. I think they've got no fear. They go anywhere and they throw the ball around. Not many teams that go up to Sale and probably should have won the game. They could have had a couple of kicks to win it at the end. I think London Irish, like I say, no fear. They're playing with tempo. They've got a massive amount of ambition. I love the way they throw the ball around, and they're a team to watch in this top 4 race.
And elsewhere on Friday night, that was a big win for Bristol at Ashton Gate. Boy, did they need that. To break down a huge issue for Wasps. Wasps must be waking up with a headache from that game. They had territory, they had possession, they had nearly double the carries and double the meters, and yet they lost. How does that happen?
I don't know, Tom. Sometimes the stats just don't really make sense. You look at it on a Monday morning, you think, how did we lose that game? But I think what Lee will be disappointed with is if the turnovers that break down. I think both sides of the ball, if you can't look after the ball, and Bristol have got some good guys that can steal it, if you can't sustain momentum, put Bristol under pressure and go through the phases, you're not going to score tries. Conversely, what Bristol can do is score tries very quickly, and they're lethal off turnover. So we found out last year in the semi-final we were 28-0 down to Bristol after 20 minutes. Somehow we crawled it back, but yeah, if you let a team like Bristol get out too much in the lead, it's hard to crawl it back.
Yeah, and credit to Bristol because they've had it tough in recent weeks, but actually when you need confidence, that fast start, that was key to getting them over the line.
It really was. They possess some of the world's best players. Obviously Charles Piatow out injured at the moment, but in Semi Radradra you've got generally one of the best players in the world, and they base a lot of their momentum off him. I think they've had a tough season this year, but they're finding their form again, and like I say, they can make you look very silly if you give them opportunities.
So Leicester had another big win on Saturday against playoff rivals Gloucester. Chris Ashton making his first start in those colours of the Leicester Tigers. But what is it about him and Steve Borthwick that makes him a good fit for Leicester and their whole culture and environment that continues to produce win after win? Yeah,
I've played with both Steve Borthwick and Chris Ashton in the same team, and they spent a lot of time together at Saracens, along with Richard Wigglesworth, who's also player coach as well. So I think Ashley's the perfect fit for Leicester. I think he'd be great with their young wingers, so you can see a real sort of leadership role of him playing there, but also he scores tries for fun. He knows how to win big trophies, and let's be honest, Leicester are going to be in that semi-final spots. And also I think he's such a winner. He's a competitor, and I think he'll really drive the standards. He kick chases better than anyone, I think, in the league, and Leicester base a lot of their game on kick chase and pressure. So for me, I think he's a perfect fit for Leicester.
Yeah, and you spoke about mentoring as well, looking after the younger players. I mean, that finish from Guy Porter, outstanding. Leicester really getting the balance between the power game plus playing to the space and scoring some incredible tries.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable finish. You'd be proud of that one, Topsy,
yeah,
I'm sure,
definitely.
back in the day. But yeah, they've got that mixture. They've got that hybrid game, the all-court game. They can batter you up front and then spin it wide. Freddie Burns throwing some lovely passes. Then they've got the wingers that can acrobatically dot it down in the corner. Yeah, Leicester are a team I think everyone should be worried about.
They are. And a quick word on Gloucester. 2 losses on the bounce now. Still in the hunt for playoff position. So just a blip or any cause for concern there?
No, I think they're still in 6th place, 5th or 6th place, and I think they've got a game in hand. So I think if you lose 2 in a row, you're all right, as long as you get back on the horse. They've got Northampton at home this weekend. They'll look to try and get a win there and climb themselves back up the table. But it's so tight, 2 or 3 losses, you start looking over your shoulder. But Gloucester possess some fantastic players. Mark Atkinson pulling the ball out of the back. I think when he plays, Gloucester normally play well, and they'll look to get back to winning ways this weekend.
Bath have their first win on the road in nearly a year.
Danny, given the season that they've had, it's been troublesome, they've struggled a lot. That's going to do wonders for confidence going forwards.
Yeah, massively. I think not many teams go to Newcastle and get a victory, and I think Bath have just got to find ways to win. Get their big players on the pitch. You had Ben Spencer and Danny Cipriani back as 9 and 10, I think, which was great. And they found their way to win up there, which not many teams do.
Yeah, and speaking of getting big men back on the pitch, Joe Thokono-Singer makes his return. Almost symptomatic of the problems at Bath, whereby they just need players back, fit, healthy and playing well, and Joe had a good day.
Yeah, and Big Joe, I think he ran in 2 tries, and it's just great for his confidence. You know what it's like as a winger, someone who's been out injured for a while, you just want to get over that try line. He gets 2 walk-ins, which is great, but he looks fit, he looks big, and Bath will need players like him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they will. And what about Newcastle? Because, again, stuttering a bit, can't buy a win at the minute. What do you think is going on there?
Yeah, I think Newcastle, they were up in the game for a lot of the game, and I think they're the type of games where they've got to go, right, how do we close this out? Once we get up, they nearly beat Exeter the week before with 14 men, again, should have won at home. So they're not far away, they just need to find ways to win. We've got them on Friday night, let's hope it doesn't start there, but we know that they'll be coming down to London with a point to prove. Whenever you play Newcastle, you know you're in for a really physical game, and we'll be welcoming a Harlequins legend in Mike Brown back to the stoop. So I hope he has a great day, a good day, not a great day on Friday night. But yeah, Newcastle, they need a win.
Yeah,
just hope it's
You're
not
right,
Friday.
Absolutely. It just takes one win and then you can get on a roll. So Danny, you mentioned Ben Spencer, and that leads me on to a wider conversation about scrum halves in England. So Saturday, Ben Young's most men's appearances in an England shirt, 115, incredible. But he has been under pressure, under criticism from outside and in for that starting position, and does he still warrant it? So, putting you on the spot, you can't pick yourself. You've got Randall, you've got Quirk, you've got Mitchell, you've got a whole host of other nines. Who do you think the successor is to that England shirt?
It's the magic question. I think since Eddie's been in charge, Ben Youngs has been Eddie's go-to guy. The longevity he's had is incredible, and the moment on the weekend for him and his family is exceptional. But I think we all want to know who is the next guy. For me, there's great guys that have been in and around the squad. Dan Robson's had a few appearances, Ben Spencer, but Eddie's never really stuck with them and really trusted them. So I think it's going to be a guy from outside. I think Rafi Quirk's been in the squad a little bit, but going back to play for Sale. I think the more he plays for Sale, the more game time he gets. For me, I can see him taking over that 9 shirt in the future. I think he's an all-encompassing scrum half. He's quick, he's physical, he backs himself, and he's incredibly brave, and I like the way he plays. I think Harry Randall at Bristol obviously getting an opportunity now, started ahead of Ben Youngs at the weekend, which is a great nod to him. I think Eddie really rates him. He's the zip guy, as Eddie calls him, but he's got incredible tempo. He probably lacks a bit of size, which maybe you would worry against New Zealand, South Africa, the French teams. And I think you've got Jack Van Portfleet as another young guy up and coming at Leicester, learning off two of the best the Premiership have ever had in Ben Youngs and Richard Wigglesworth. So he's got 2 great mentors there. But we're blessed in this Premiership with some great young English scrum halves. I think anyone who supports any of those teams will argue their case for their 9.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it's probably long term. I think Quirk and Van Portfleet might have a good battle, and Randall in there as well. 3 good ones.
All right, nice, well answered. Good, right? So Danny's gone for Rafi Quirk. I'll go Harry Randall for now, but please comment below who do you think is a successor to that England starting 9 shirt. Right, coming up, we've got the final game of the weekend. It's Northampton against Exeter.
Ewers gives it to Witten quickly, and now Hodger, and he's got some space and he's going to take some stopping. No one's going to stop him. He is rapid, and he's been fabulous in the first quarter of this match. And he thoroughly deserves that try. What a start he's had to this game. Matavesi there, Mitchell too. Goes on the burst, real threat, real energy, wonderfully done. Oh, and bursting through Augustus, gets the ball away, and Proctor scores. Finally, those Harlem Globetrotter-like hands stick, and Saint score a beauty. Kirsten over the top, doing what he can to release the ball. Maunder as well, the Witten not far away. Oh, Maunder got absolutely walloped there. Ball still loose. Saint still working very hard to slow this down, but not enough. Ewers goes, and surely no one stops the might of Dave Ewers. Got within strangling distance, did the strangling. Grayson off his toes, and then Dingwall, he's got through, and he's got Collins up in support. Oh, he timed that brilliantly. He couldn't have timed that any better.
It was a nice support line by Tom Collins, but all he really had to do was wait and finish.
And that scrum has just obliterated them. And now they go again. And Augustus takes it quickly. And it's a jamboree at the Gardens. It's a carnival.
Yeah, all good, mate.
Yendel's not far away. However,
on field, I think he's making a good attempt.
Mitchell who went through looking for the ball.
There's time off for an injury, so if we're clearly wrong...
Does he try and catch this?
Time off.
I didn't think he did. I thought he patted it down.
9.
Easy enough call in the end to give Mitchell the yellow. It's the right call.
Put your hand in there.
Tonk's doing what he can to slow things down. And now they manage to break through. And Yendel gets there.
It's a clever little pickup from Woodburn, isn't it, at the base? It looks like with his body angle he's going to go himself.
Maunder, Simmons, the cross kick that was coming. And, it's brilliantly taken. Plucked out on the boundary by Ollie Woodburn. That is sensational. To add to a lengthy list of the sensational
really good
in this contest. Simmons, O'Flaherty. Grayson can't hold him. O'Flaherty's on his own in a little bit of daylight. And then Furbank comes in and makes sure that there's no further progress. Oh, there's a penalty coming.
O'Flaherty just makes meters, doesn't he, when he shouldn't. Look how far back his legs are. His body angle's way too low. He's flopped.
Yeah. $14 points for Simmons. And Simmons into the stands, beyond the stands. Well, that's one of the best Gallagher Premiership games we've enjoyed all season.
So let's have a look at the table, and after that win for the Chiefs, they are back in the playoff positions and looking good for the run into the end of the season. At the top, it's still Leicester Tigers leading the way, closely followed by Saracens and Harlequins, and that middle of the pack is still as tight as ever. That is a fight that's going to go all the way to the end of the season. At the bottom of the table, it is still Bath, but they are starting to close the gap on both Worcester and Newcastle. Right, time to check out what you guys have been up to at home. It is time for the Grassroot Beaut. It comes from the Women's BUCS Super League.
It comes from scrum-half, so I can't wait for this. Let's check it out.
Sarah Griffin carries it forward for Birmingham, tackled by Poppy Phillips. I think the ball's been dislodged. Swept up by Zoe Warrington for Loughborough. And now this is the scrum half, Georgia White, accelerating up to halfway. Oh, she's still going. What a sidestep. She's still going. Charlotte Daly working furiously to chase back. Has she got there? Is the ball down? I think it is. My goodness, White is rapid.
Well, guys, that's it for this weekend. Danny, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Thank you guys at home for tuning in, and we will see you again next week. Flats is back. He's had his line. He'll be back.